All right, we want to welcome everybody online. It's 6 o'clock. Yeah, go ahead. No, you're good. It's 6 o'clock. We're going to get started. And Stephen, we're going to call the meeting to order at 6:01, actually. What Jenna and I are going to do are now count the votes and the signatures to make sure we have quorum for the first meeting. So just give us a few minutes and we'll be right back with you. Hey, everybody. Thanks for bearing with us. Like I said a little bit ago, we're going to count the proxies and the membership to make sure we have quorum for the membership meeting, and then we'll be right back with you. All right. Can everybody hear me online? Somebody give me a thumbs up. It shows everyone as
Muted.
it shows everyone is muted. Hold on, there's something wrong. Okay, I just changed a setting to allow you to unmute yourself. So if Mark, you want to unmute yourself and say hey.
Hello.
There we go. Thank you, sir. There was a control in the Teams call blocking you guys from unmuting yourself. So we've started the meeting. Jenna and I are counting the votes. A couple people in the room wanted a short explanation of the proxy and what exactly they were voting on. So if you guys will bear with me, I'm just going to give a quick summary. If everybody has the ballot or the proxy in your hand, there's basically two options for the association, and it's for the membership. It's not for the board, so it's for the membership to vote. And that would be option or item number one, to vote on reducing the funding of non-structural integrity reserves for the 2026 fiscal year. And it says waiving of reserves in whole or in part, or allowing alternative uses of existing reserves may result in the unit owner liability for payment of unanticipated special assessments regarding those items. It's not to scare you. Basically, the thought is we're about to go into this project and right a bunch of wrongs, fix a bunch of items that are in need of fixing. And when you do something like that, you have the right and the ability to waive funding your reserves because you're making those repairs. You're repairing the items that you're funding. And very similarly to the second point, vote to waive funding of structural reserves for 2026 and 2027. The first one is a yearly vote. If we want to continue to waive that, we need to vote every year. The second one, where legislation allows us to waive 2 years in full. And that's for those structural items. Concrete, balconies, patios, different walkways. And legislation is allowing us to do this, the association to do this, because again, we're making repairs in the special assessment. Yeah, Mark?
Did what you said about the non-structural, did you mention the roof in that? I'm not sure if I heard that. I heard patios and I heard concrete walkways, but it also covers the roof.
Yeah, I didn't give an exhaustive list, but the non-structural is
Kevin.
Okay. And then it just, in our case, happens to not be structural. So the second portion, or vote number 2, it wouldn't include the roof. So the thought behind this is we're in a good place if we're special assessing for needed milestone repairs. The thought is waiving reserves and serves is okay. It's an okay thing to do. We have a nice $900, I think, and $35,000 in reserves. We would keep that and guard that while the next few years we special assess and make repairs. So that's just a short.
Tell them what it means to them financially.
Financially, that's a really good point. So the numbers matter. If you'll go with me in your packet to the page at the top that says schedule of proposed maintenance, and it has 3 boxes at the bottom. The reason I use this format is because under current payment in the center, you can find your payment. Most folks know what they're paying right now as a monthly payment. The majority of folks are paying the 92%. It's $733.37. If you follow that number over, you'll see how it affects you in the positive and the negative. Your proposed monthly with waiving reserves, so you would be in favor and in favor. Your proposed monthly would be $570.29. And that's the relief legislation is trying to bring to y'all. You're in the middle of a special assessment. They realize you're going to have to come out of pocket for stuff. So let me give you a monthly, let them give you a monthly cushion there. If you don't, and then it's listed to 2 reserve, both non-structural and structural. If you decide not to pay reserves, your payment stays the same this year. And again, we're doing that. We've just shifted some numbers around in the budget to allow a steady another year of the same price, so that when we special assess, it's not as big of a burden on the member.
Does that help?
Yeah. So she's counting the final votes. There's a couple people with ballots in their laps. If you guys would fill those out, how you would like to vote, I'll take them from you and we'll count the last few. so that we can give some numbers, some answers.
You need one, they're up there on the shelf there.
The first one. It's. You can, this one, you can use your HOA. That we can close, or we can close it. More money. Like that. That's that.
It's still the board recommendation to waive this.
I hope the board didn't make a recommendation.
So we want everyone to vote how they wish to vote, but all we can show you are the facts, but we want everyone to vote how they want to vote. But the decision is ours as a group. The board cannot change your vote. If more people say waive, that's how we go. If less people, if more people say don't waive, that's how we go. There's no board input. Yeah.
Are you still recommending to waive?
That's my understanding, that we're recommending to waive. It's your call. You can do what you want to.
Yeah, but how many, yeah. Right.
The 900,000 that we have will remain intact and it'll be used for those things that are not covered. I'm speaking correctly, Kevin, that are not covered by the assessments for the SERS. So we'll still have a nice cushion. We're just not adding to it every month. Yep.
Voting like yes for one and
No,
no for the other.
That is, it'll be counted, yes. So we would have a different budget if we voted to waive one and not the other. The budget would be impacted that way. Yeah. And the fees that are due would be
So we
impacted.
could continue to fund the things that are not structural. That are gonna
If
be
it's
covered
voted.
by restoration.
My understanding is if that's how you vote, that would be continued, yes, but I don't know what that. Hi, how are you? If you need a proxy to vote, sir,
I got it. Yeah, I want to get.
Okay.
No, I guess you got
you mailed yours.
it.
We can confirm if we have it. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
You did. Are y'all gonna go?
Right.
You call them township.
Not,
We do it.
not for that, but you might do it later.
Yeah, I can even FaceTime.
Did you, but I'm gonna try to get away. I really want to hear what they have to say. Thank you.
We don't get around.
Exciting.
Yeah.
That was you. Exciting, right?
Yeah, how was that? It was a baby. Exciting.
What, did we come in or something?
I guess.
Yeah, but that one, that is where they had pulled mine
That's the
off.
new replacement.
Oh, it's
They had pulled mine off, what kind of stuff.
okay.
They just, it's actually.
And Kevin said, I asked Kevin, and I said they are gonna ask the person who made it come out. I said hopefully for free, because it's only been 6 months.
It's even that long.
If that long, when they fixed it. It was over the summer, right? They fixed it, so.
I didn't realize.
Or-
Amy says that it should.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, it does have the vacuum, I just don't want water to get in.
No.
So.
So we don't have to pay it.
Yes.
We're done since we're only within it. All right. Anyway,
Sure.
I mean, we get the everybody said it's
as long as it's water approved.
the vacuum.
You know.
It's
So you can always pack up some plastic sheet. So I think.
I just wondered if it was really windy or something.
Only 3 because.
That was a.
Get back to our.
How is your willingness?
Can't believe what happened. So Thanksgiving week, Friday. On the ground. For him, we had 2.6 family. We called poison. Hey, so we had to take him to the ER.
Wow.
We spent 2 nights, maybe 3 nights or 2 nights.
Well, you're on it.
And then they had to IV, just on IV. 1 AM and 4 AM. He's okay, but it was kind of stressful there for a moment.
I don't understand.
It's toxic to a dog. Yeah, because he's so tiny. And it was an adult. It was just one, but it was an adult dosage, and they said that's not good.
Right.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, yeah. Right now I have 4 months, so I'll try not to take it occasionally. Yeah.
Only thing I can say.
Every year. You can get called out. Nobody wants to.
I was not in charge of cooking. I'm like, I will be in charge of cooking.
I like that.
Yeah. And they wanted to make probably because the best I could.
Always have a good. She's like. Have it been.
After that, I actually went to help my brother and my mom had her. Yeah. And then later on. The better.
All right, I'm ready. All right, thanks, everybody. Gosh, that took a little longer than what I thought. That was 21 minutes. Am I unmuted? I'm unmuted. So thank you, everybody, for your patience.
Please.
We went through all the ballots and all the proxies. The good news is we made quorum at 59 members. We needed 51 and we have 59. I know some folks are in favor and opposed, so I'm not going to say the good news but the news is the vote did not pass for either. We had 46 votes for in favor of waiving and 46 votes for in favor of waiving. So the vote did not pass. Which isn't the end of the world. It just means that the budget at the next meeting, which was directly following this, will be approved funding both non-structural and structural reserves. So your dues will stay as close to the same as on that budget sheet.
Interesting. Okay.
All right, so we are officially called to order because we did meet membership quorum. As you just heard with the numbers, the vote to waive both non-structural and structural reserves did not pass. So we will adjourn this meeting and open the following meeting, which is the budget meeting.
To move to adjourn.
Please.
To adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Perfect. All right, and that is at 6:23. So also at 6:23, let's make a motion to open the board meeting for the budget.
Move to open the board meeting to vote on the budget.
And if everybody will turn to your packet, there is the agenda. And a budget summary. And then there is a budget summary over there for everyone as well. All right. We have a quorum of 3 in person with Mark Rayburn online.
Yes.
Proof of notice of the meeting, we have that, the proof of mailing. And then new business, consider approval of the 2026 budget mailed to owners. So as you guys all see, there's 4 pages to the budget I placed on the counter and mailed out to you. And then I created a draft 2026 budget summary for everyone. The main changes are insurance savings, reserve transfer adjustments, and flexibility with that $75,000. We also increased D&O with the market increase of 130%, the projected market increase, and created a new contingency fund line item for just some things that come with condos, owning condos and so.
Hey, Kevin, are you sharing anything?
No, it's in their packets that I emailed to everyone.
I understand. Okay.
And that's it. So your board has been working since August, just diligently with me and with FSR and the attorneys and the reserve advisors to compile this budget. And we've worked it in a way that we keep it exactly the same. And since at the last meeting we just closed, since reserves weren't waived will be approving the 2026 budget at the current monthly fees under proposed monthly unit per maintenance. Unit maintenance. Well, board, you've had it's been a couple months. It's been a long road. You guys ready? You guys have any questions?
No.
I'm fine.
I move to approve the budget for 2026.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Wonderful. The 2026 budget is approved. Thank you all.
Good job, Kevin.
Thank you, sir. Sorry that took so long to count.
Good job, everybody that worked on it.
We just wanted to double check the counts on that several times. So with that being the only item on the agenda, yes, sir.
Okay, we voted to keep the monthly fee the same, which means we take the aforementioned reserve funds and deposit it in those two accounts.
That's correct.
Will any of that money can be used for contingency coming up with the major projects that we've got coming up?
That's a good question. In the association world, the thought is when a major project comes up, you fund that major project with the special assessment. It is fully funded through that, especially if that's what your board or your association wants to do. There's associations who split it up in different ways, but right now the current thought is special assess for the entirety of the repairs and save that reserve that we have currently. Now, if something,
Continue to grow.
as you continue to grow it, if there's something that comes up that the residents or the board says, well, gosh, that was an outlier. We didn't expect that. We've tried to catch everything. But if there's something that we didn't quite catch, they can make that vote and say, we have that in reserves. We're going to be okay. We're going to use reserves versus a second special assessment or tacking something on later.
Yeah, my concern is the contingency, because we don't know what's gonna come up.
That's correct, which is another reason they put 1.7 million in the contingency of the project.
Yeah.
So we're hoping that's the cushion we need, but if it's not,
We're hoping it's less.
oh, indeed.
We're hoping the
Indeed.
contingency is less, but we have a cushion if something comes up.
If it's less, where does the excess money go to?
That'd be about a year and a half down the road. We'd have to discuss that and the board and you all would determine how that would be distributed, if it would be distributed, how it would be used. Again, just going with industry norm, it's usually funneled right back into the reserves to create that cushion for later, because then what's next and not getting addressed? The roof. So when that time comes, it wouldn't be so
Another hit.
such a challenge to the
Would be
residents,
Another
right?
big hit for everybody. We could take it out of that money.
Most of the time, it just stays in the HOA. It's the-
In the reserves.
In the, yeah.
Yeah, those really good questions. Thank you, sir. Yes.
Thank you for all the effort. I appreciate that. And budget question about, we're going to be spending a considerable amount of money that ostensibly is repairs. In other words, not noticeably or economically altering the value of the units per se. And I'm wondering if it wouldn't be smart to slightly take some of the buffer, some adjustment to do the things, the cosmetic pieces, to make sure we don't lose those, because they usually get knocked out. Things like the landscaping along the walls around the outside. It's kind of,
Yeah.
it looks pretty off and scraggly. The aspects of, paving, a number of the things, the siding that we're going to elect to use on the building itself, things like that.
Well, you're in luck. We've already thought of all that, and the siding it's going to be swapped from vinyl to a hardy. And they've also discussed painting the brick, and we've hired an architect so he can wrap all that into one. And we're hoping to make this just a staple in the community, a staple in Atlantic Beach, where it's a fully wrapped project, a completely brand new building, both structural and aesthetic. So that is the thought, and it's in the project manual. It's wonderful.
We do, Kevin, just to add on that with the landscaping, we have a little bit budget for landscaping, but we know with the construction, we will have damaged landscaping that will get removed. And we're gonna have to, use we have to vote on how we're gonna handle that, correct? If we're gonna use some of the 1.7, or if we're gonna use, we could also go dip into the unstructural, right, reserve too. So, because we will have to deal with some landscaping issues as well. So,
I've
yes.
done a couple of these projects. One of them was a 4-tower condominium off RG Skinner, and a lot of landscaping gets damaged with JLGs and lifts and just construction, dropping siding down on the ground. Afterwards, it's known. We got a lot of work to do landscaping wise, but we save that to the very end. So yeah. So we're trying to cover all the thoughts. But if that's all the questions,
Hey,
hey,
what were you gonna say, Kat?
if that's all the questions, we can motion to adjourn.
Well, do we have any questions?
Yeah.
Let's hold on. If you have a question from the phone, hit the raise your hand button. If you can see the screen, you'll see MR has a hand raise. I'm going to turn it off, but that's how so we can look and see who's asking a question. Like J4 has a question.
Yeah.
So
Jana has a question too. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Jana. Oh, there you are. I see you're unmuted. I can see you unmute yourself, but we can't hear you. While you're working that out,
She could put it in chat if she wants.
Oh yeah, you can put it in chat if you want to type it out. And Mark, you said another one. I don't see anybody else with their hands up.
no, that's it.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Jose.
Hello? Yeah, different subject. When is our payment of the assessment due?
We still don't have that answer, Jose. We're gathering the last few
Okay.
numbers, and we're hoping to get that out within the month. I don't want to make promises, but we're really pulling at people trying to get those final numbers.
So
Okay, thank
Kevin,
you so much.
yeah, Jose, Kevin, we can also just say, right, have we received the official contract? I don't think we have from Valcourt. We have their bid, but now the whole legality issues that we have to go through. Have they submitted that yet, or we're still waiting?
I wanted to look because it was due today. So
Right.
I left the office early to come here, and I haven't quite seen that email come through, but
Right,
if
'cause
not,
I have a feeling it's going to get delayed based on when I'm talking to Jeremy. So that's holding us up, folks who are on the phone and in the room, because we're waiting on the contract, which means we have to send it to our legal team to have them review it to make sure the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, and we don't put ourselves at risk for any reason. So that's part of the delay with figuring out the assessment, Jose. Again, the board's going to have to determine how we're going to structure the assessment, right? With 100% assessment, do we then do 40% up front and then 40%, 4 to 6 months later? So that's still got to be discussed, or well as an HOA loan isn't also an option. So we're trying to determine, because there is still some outstanding costs that we're trying to anchor down, because we have to have engineering support as well. That goes, which is a part of the budget that we got to look at. So we're just trying to round all the numbers up to make sure we keep everybody whole and there's no surprises.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, one other thing I was just going to add is this coming Friday, our architect and our Valcourt guys are meeting at the site. I'll be present, and we're going to walk through to make sure our architects understands what Valcourt bid was, so they're not doing something off the cuff that doesn't match up with what Valcourt's doing. So we're trying to make sure everybody is locked at the hip on this, so there's no surprises going down the road. Okay, folks?
That's perfect. Thank you, Mark.
Yeah, thank you for giving me time. But that's all I had to share.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
First of all, I want to say, appreciate all the work you guys done on this. I mean, I know it was probably more than people would think. You know, lot of work and appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Other question I have is obviously, there are options, like you said, you're waiting for the final numbers to come in. Once they come in, what time frame before we make the first payment, whether it would be 100%, 40%, whatever?
So Florida statute says 14 days, but we've always been upfront and honest, and just tried to give a heads up. So I think our thought in our heart is as soon as we find out the number, we want to let it be known. And then we'll talk about a hard date.
A date.
Because we know folks need to take out, second mortgages or potentially pull from. Yeah. And so that's the board isn't leaning towards the Florida statute minimum of 14 days. They're more leaning towards we're residents as well. All of, everyone is a resident. So I can't give you that exact answer, but I don't know. What would you guys say? 30? Would you
30.
hope?
I would
Yeah,
hope
we
30.
we would
Right.
hope for 30 because I mean, a loan that could take
Yeah,
a few days to get. So
we'll give you as much notice as we
Okay.
can, yeah.
And one other question regarding that. You had mentioned an HOA loan. And my understanding of an HOA loan would be essentially somebody would loan, will, just for lack of a better thing, $8 million to the HOA that would then be distributed in the same formula that the regular HOA.
that's correct.
Okay, now if you chose to just say, I don't want to be part of that, I want to pay, I'm just going to pay my portion.
Right.
This in full. I mean, obviously, I'm assuming you can do that.
That's correct.
Okay, now, if you did that, and then we'll say that an HOA loan, it's to the HOA. So if you had, listen, I'm just kidding, for example, 50 people that were supposed to be paying that, 10 of them don't. That means the 40 have to. Well, you can foreclose on, but somebody.
That's
still
a
gotta pay.
timely,
I'm sorry.
it's a long time to foreclose, so that's not an immediate.
No, but I'm just saying, am I correct on that?
You're correct, and that's
Assessment.
Yeah.
If people don't pay, you're gonna have to foreclose to get the money, or other people have to pay until.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, but now, okay, here was my question. If I had already paid my portion,
this question's come up before.
and then
Yeah.
the HOA loan suddenly becomes, okay, we have to assess, everybody else is gonna have to pay, some, small amount. Are you excluded from that, or are you then part of that new payment?
Well, that question hasn't,
Yes, it did. Yes,
Did
it
it?
did. And the lawyer addressed it specifically.
I thought they were
We
saying
asked
that
that
they get a
year ago.
refund if
We asked
nobody.
that very question.
What'd she say, Laura?
And she said that if you were a member of this HOA, you're on the hook.
Responsible.
Period.
So it's period, whether
Period.
you're part of that loan or not part of that loan.
Okay.
Because that's exactly the question we asked is, can we take a step back by paying and the other 80 people do something else? But if they falter, I'm whole. And she said, absolutely not.
Okay, so
If you're a member of this HOA and this HOA goes down, you go down with it. So that's why so many people are against an
The
HOA loan. And so many people want it to be the individual responsibility of the owners for that very reason. So just, I asked that question a year ago.
Okay, the same situation would be if we didn't do a loan and everybody had to pay and 50 didn't pay. We're still in the same predicament. We just don't have the responsibility to
Yeah.
do a loan, but we still have to come up with the funds.
Yes,
So it's,
There are pros and cons to both
Yeah.
sides.
no question. But that specific question.
I'm sorry, I thought he was going to ask, can you get a refund? Put it all
I know, I was
up.
like, this question has been asked.
I thought you were asking. That came up a lot. If I pay in full and then nobody does, and for some reason we have to fold the HOA, can I get a refund? And that was also a big no. I
That
think.
was a hard no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know that for a fact, but I was pretty sure that would be the answer.
Yeah.
All right, last question.
Situation, are we talking 5?
In the not pay situation,
Yeah, who are saying.
Who are unable
"Okay,
to
I'm not
pay."
gonna be able to do this, I'm gonna sell or do something else.
Yeah.
You know, get a sense of that, yeah?
the problem with asking that question is it reveals that there is an option, and there isn't an option. It's per door. So it,
It's us, correct? Well, Yeah, I mean, there isn't enough, right? It's just
Correct.
that- But you want to know, are some, if you be able to come up with a payment or be able to get a loan for $80,000, $90,000, or is that going to be, require you to sell or do something external?
And
You
they're
don't know
not paying because
next.
they haven't had a number yet. We're waiting to get the final number to be able, it's hard to take a poll when you don't know what the number is.
But I don't
You
think.
can
we have
do
a
that at
poll,
the pool,
But we talked about doing it.
at the pool.
Right.
I do hope your points are that, I'm sorry, I don't know your name, but
Yeah, yeah.
Dan, that what we are doing will improve the value of your unit. I feel like there's no doubt for that. I think that you sounded like you had some concern, but what we're doing should improve the value of your unit
Yeah.
substantially. Yeah, Chris.
I talked to some of you about this, but I think that we really have dignity that we could give all the owners to say, here's where we are, we got the numbers. It'll be this much, you can specially assessed, $90,000. It's going to be due in accordance with the draw schedule. And we're not sure of the dates, but basically these dates. And we think that we need to know where you stand, whether you can pay or not, to Dan's question. But more importantly, they need to understand, and Kevin, you're pointing out, that's not an option. And so everyone is, if you can't make the payment, like the current assessment requirements, the HOA has a right to foreclose. They need to be aware that this is, it's either pay or move.
Or sell.
And I think, again, giving them the dignity of the whole process. Just what you're saying is, wouldn't you rather sell with the property value stock? For them to somehow find a way to make the assessment.
Right.
So that they can have more money. A lot of these people aren't, I hate to say it, but a lot of people don't understand those dynamics. And I think that it would be helpful for many of our residents to get a clear understanding of those realities.
Yeah, I was hoping, Chris, once we get the number, we can say, here's the number. How, and kind of get that. I've wanted to take a poll forever and everybody's.
So I think we need to get certified.
But
certified
definitely find out.
some way that assurance gives us assurance that they see the communication. If they've been on.
They need to understand the risk involved if they don't pay and what's going to happen.
You know, it's not enough.
Yep.
It's not enough. It's not enough.
Just had one question. I don't know how hard it is for you to collect monthly dues, but you had 57 people vote out of 100. So you had quite a number disregard beneath the importance of the vote. So my question is that an indication of the willingness of being able to come up with the money for the rest of it?
No, I read through the financials and the collections each, and I don't mean collections in the bad way,
Right.
what we collect as FSR for the association each month. And we have maybe one every now and then, two every now and then who accidentally miss a payment. But for the most part, it's for C-Place, it's been rare. I don't want to explain like other situations, but
That's not a
and
80,000.
100%. And when, so it's been good. C-Place has been on point. So, yeah.
Comment that it's really important that there's communication to the owners at this point. So, because this idea of 15 days or 30 days, and then you have all the details worked out by then, and then we get the information, is not helpful to a lot of people.
Well, we don't want to give out erroneous
I
information.
know that,
It needs
but
to
I'm
be-
just saying, to get 100% buy-in, the more communication that you can do in the process,
Mhm.
I think would be really helpful in terms of people really understanding what they need to be doing and when.
Yeah.
There's definitely tax implications now that we're in
Right.
December. And then we're moving to another year. And it would be really helpful to kind of know, what is the amount that we're dealing with. here.
I agree.
Is
So-
it really gonna be $90,000? If that's it approximately, then maybe that's what we need to.
So I don't know if Mark's still online, but Mark said at our last meeting that we will give weekly updates. We're going to keep everybody informed, but that means y'all are going to have to read your emails and your texts, and we're not going to have weekly meetings, but we'll keep everyone informed. We just don't know what that number is, and we don't want to give one number and it be incorrect. So we do need to wait till we have everything in, and then we'll definitely give y'all time to make some plans, but I would think it's reasonable to count 80 to 90,000. Is that correct?
Should we have a,
Start planning for that. And if it comes in lower, we're okay. If it comes in higher, of course, we'll all have to adjust.
do we need like a workshop? Because the bank each has a workshop before budgets is done, so should that be, appropriate? How can we get the numbers?
What kind of workshop? I'm sorry.
Sit down where say, okay, here are the numbers, what are options, and then discuss it so that everybody has ideas.
It would be discussed openly at the board meeting.
You mean, yeah, or you mean bringing in lenders, or again, is that what you're talking about? Or just here's your option?
More preliminary meetings so that when you have a board meeting, you have more educated
Yeah.
owners.
So I would love for us to, to say, here's some options for you. Everybody may go a different way, certain people will do certain things, but we should, as far as we know, give you options that we're aware of and give you, once we know the number.
Linda, I'm still on.
For now,
Hold on.
Hey.
Fair questions, right? Pretty much people can figure out it's going to be in the north of $80,000. You can figure that out right now. I mean, we're at 8.7 million. How many units do we have? And then you got to remember, I mean, it's just how it's going to be, folks. So it's somewhere north of 80, closer, 90. I mean, I hope it's under, it's a let, but y'all got to remember, it's a heck of a lot going to be less than what it was over a year ago.
Indeed, it was 10.5.
Million, okay? Yes, it's a shitload. It's a huge number, excuse my language, but it's a lot less than what it's going to be. So the board has done a heck of a job with trying to do whatever possible we can to ease the burden, even though it's a big burden. It's better than what it was. And folks, the number is going to be the number. It's going to be, each condo is a little bit different, right? There's like, what is it? 92 condos, I think, at one number. And then there's 4 at another number and 4 at a different number, which are going to be high, lower or higher just based on square footage. But the number is going to run right now. I'm thinking, 90,000 roughly. Okay. For my condo. So, and I live in a 2 to 3. So I would figure that number right now. And we're not trying to add, people can pay 100% up front, or they can pay 40 up front, or they can pay, like we're going to try to do a structure like we did at Sea Escape. We've had many town hall meetings as well that's communicated this. I can't help if people don't call in, right? And we've had the same questions being asked over and over again, which is kind of concerning. That I'm thankful that people are joining. This is probably a better attendance. We have 17 people online, and about, I'm guessing 30, 35 in the room. We're still not touching everybody, right? So think about that as well, folks. But that's why we're going to do everything we can with communication. Like in 2 weeks, I'll do another town hall with y'all. Okay. But we've communicated every 2 weeks over the last 6 months, I say, almost. So there should be no surprises. I'm done. That's all I'm going to say.
And until we know for certain what it is, y'all are still going to have questions. So I think Mark is working very hard. Kevin's working very hard. We had several residents that are here tonight that have worked very hard to help get the numbers down and look at it, make sure we're going the right direction with the right contractor, the right architect, everything. So when we get all that together, we can't just throw out a number and say it's due in January, or it's due February, it's due March. So as soon as we know all those facts, we can put it in a packet for you, give you some options or some understanding of what it means to you personally. But the same questions come up because we haven't been able to give you answers, but we can't give you answers because we're waiting on it from from legal, from the contractors. I think that's part of the problem.
Be able to see the breakdown.
Can I ask a question? I have a question.
Yeah, we'll have a break.
Mark? Hello?
Yes. Hello, I'm here.
I thought I heard about a month ago or 2 months ago that the estimate was going to be around 70,000.
Again, Jose, we're just estimating, but when we received the proposal back from Valcourt at 8.7-ish, that automatically kicks that number up a little bit. So if 70,000 was floated around, once we knew the final number to the project, plus there's other additions, then we know, like Mark said, it's going to be upwards in the 90s.
Okay, and one last thing. The other thing a recommendation to the board is we got to make sure we have a damn tight contract that protects us from the engineers coming and say, well, we didn't think of this. Now we're finding this. Now it's going to be 30,000 more, because obviously these engineers must know what they're doing, and we got to hold them accountable to what they say they're going to do, and no surprises.
Yeah,
Because that's
we're using a contractor from reference from down the road. They have a good track record, and we've created a line item in the project under contingency. So we're really steamrolling it, and we're also going to have our legal team review the contract with Valcourt, just make sure it's tight and in favor of the association. So we're really steamrolling it for the members.
And make sure, please, that the law firm that's doing this actually knows what they're doing and have experience doing this.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
Very important.
They do indeed. Well, we have people leaving, so.
Fair question.
Thank you.
Fair question. Thank you, Jose. All right.
I move to adjourn the meeting.
Second, third.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved, adjourned at 6:53.
Thanks,
Thank you.
everyone.
See you later, Mark.
Take care, everyone. See you soon.